There was numerous reports that have come out, media reports, stating that the governor is angling for a top job with the Clinton administration if Hillary wins.
Governor Brainerd, like all of us, is subject to the restrictions of the Hatch Act.
Right. So has she offered to recuse herself because of her political involvement? A federal governor can be in direct negotiations with a political campaign looking for a future job, and that is not a conflict as far as you're concerned.
I would have to consult my counsel.
Well, that was New Jersey Congressman Scott Garrett grilling Fed Chair Janet Yellen on the politics of the Fed, in particular voting member Brainerd, who actively contributed to the Clinton campaign and whose name has been mentioned all over the place as a possible Treasury Secretary if Clinton is elected. Congressman Garrett joins us now. Congressman, thanks for taking out the time. That was one heck of a performance. You kind of had her like a deer in the headlights at the end, but you bring up an amazing point. The politicalization of the Fed, I don't know that we've ever seen it like this.
No, we haven't, and that's why we have to look at the issue of, is the Fed really independent, or is that just a myth? And I would suggest that it is a myth. When you look at the track record, when you look at the history of this Fed chair, who meets regularly with the top partisan people in the Treasury Department, when you look at this Fed and see that there's a revolving door, if you will, between the Federal Reserve and over the administration, and you see the latest example, what you just had on your lead-in clip here, as you have a sitting board governor donating, while a sitting board governor, to one of the presidential candidates, and with the reports out there, as you indicated, that is on a short list. So I think the public wants to know, is that a conflict? Is that something they should recuse themselves? And the Fed chair had no answer.
The thing is, we hear over and over again about Congress getting tough with the Federal Reserve, and nothing ever really seems to come of it. It even felt like your colleagues were trying to hush you down a little bit or rush you off of that question because you really had her cornered there. What can the American people expect? Because the Fed does seem like this omnipotent power that no one can control.
Well, actually, we have taken action. We've taken action in our committee, the Financial Services Committee, and I thank the chairman for moving our legislation along, and we've taken legislation through the House of Representatives to go to the Fed and to say that they have to be transparent. They have to be accountable. Now, that legislation, as I say, has moved through committee and through the House. It goes over to the Senate, where all good bills go to die. But we have taken action in the House, and hopefully in this next administration, we'll be able to move that legislation forward to make sure that the Fed is accountable, is transparent, and let me just make this other point. You know, there's all talk about taking corporate money out of politics. Maybe it's about time that we take Federal Reserve money out of politics as well.
I agree with you 1,000%. Before I let you go, Donald Trump brought up the Fed during the debates.
Did he not? Yeah.
You kind of remember that.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because I don't know that a lot of Americans understand the Fed, have any clue what it is at all. Are they a fair target for the president, for a potential president to sort of strike at? Should he be influencing them himself one way or the other?
Well, I think it's incumbent upon all elected officers, whether in the House or Senate or the White House, to say, is the Fed behaving as it should? The Fed was designed to be an independent agency, not coming under the pressure of political pressure and outside influences, but we see a track record of this Fed doing just that. So anyone, I think all of us, have the right to raise those questions, say how independent they are, and say we need to put legislation in place or take action to make sure the Fed going forward will be independent and not act as it has in the past.
Well, Representative Garrett, great show today. On Wall Street, I can tell you, as a Wall Streeter and American, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.